So with it, you, it's your boy ThaRebelStar back at it with another artist interview. And this time, this artist I found on Instagram, her name is Alyse. And this is the second female artist I'm interviewing. The first one, her name was T. And, I don't get that many female artists to interview. So it's mostly male. So I'm trying to like bounce it out and whatnot. So, and here we go.
Uh,
What?
what is up?
What?
What? What's
What?
up, YouTube? Tube?
What?
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 Huh?
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 All right, tell them your name and where you from.
I'm Alyse. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Big 912.
What?
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 Huh?
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 But what made you get into being an underground artist?
So it's actually a really weird story. I didn't even really know I had like musical talent when it comes to rapping. I grew up in instruments. I grew up playing piano, violin. I was in the chorus. So I never really took it serious. And then my friends that I lived with got into rapping. They started showing me all their songs and they were like going in the closet on Band Lab with the headphones and they would come out in 15 minutes, come out with a song, and he was showing me his Band Lab and he could go for hours. So I just got inspired. And one day my friend got stuck on a bar and I was trying to help him because like I was at the point where I could understand the flows, I could understand how to like create bars, I could understand how to create a flow. So I rapped. He couldn't like say it the way I wanted him to say it. So I was like, let me just record it. You could just rap over it. And he kept it in the song. And he showed all the other people and they were like, what? She's flowing better than you on your own song. So that's what really inspired me to start making my own music. And then after that, I created my first two songs. One of them was a melodic song and one of them was rap. And then from there, I just kept going with it.
All right, so you got into it because you beat your homeboy in the song.
Basically, I was like, "Oh, I'm better than y'all. Let me see what's up." And then after that, I evolved. I got around a bunch of different artists. I started making friends for the sole reason that you make music and I make music, so that's something we can bond over. And that expanded my style, expanded my flow, the type of music that I make. Like I can rap, and then I can also make like a whole completely different genre and stuff. So I'm very versatile just because of my versatile support system.
And your versatility. What is your versatility consist of?
So, a lot of people have compared me to like kind of X's style of music. Like I can make rap, I can make like some chill rap, I can make some rage rap, I can make some like trap, or I can go turn around and make like a love song, like a melodic love song, or I can make like a really sad song that can hit you in your feels. Like it's just anything that I'm feeling in the moment. I know how to put it into the music bars, and I know how to hit people's emotions into what I'm feeling at the moment. So it really
And
depends on my mood.
and with you being a female underground artist, what are the challenges that you overcame?
So a lot of it is there's this thing that I've come to the conclusion I have. It's called the ice spice effect. And basically that's when a lot of males listen to me not because I make music or not because of my music, just because I'm a female at the end of the day that they're thirsting over. But then the other side of it is a lot of males don't listen to female artists, like I feel constricted to my fan base just because I'm a female. But when I look at my analytics and I see that I have a lot of male, I have a lot of everything. I have a lot of male, I have a lot of different age groups, a lot of different races, just because of my versatility, you feel me? So that's just like what motivates me to make different music and not just stick to one genre. Like I like to appeal to all audiences. And so far it's been working for me. I've gotten comments where people have been like, usually I don't listen to female artists, but you're tough, keep it going. Like a lot of males will be like, keep going, you're doing good. And it motivates me.
And what is the ice spice effect?
So basically, the Ice Spice effect is, how Ice Spice blew up. Everybody was like, she's an industry plant just because she's over here like twerking in the camera, and they're like, she can't really rap, she don't really got bars. They're not listening to what she's saying. They're looking at how she looks, and they're like basically she's a female. We're thirsting over her, like she's cute. We're gonna follow her just because she's cute. We're not gonna listen to nothing she's saying, but just because she's cute and I could thirst over her, I want her on my timeline. That's one thing I struggle a lot with because there'll be a lot of males like they'll try and slide in my DMs and they'll just slide in my DMs being like, oh, I heard this song. And I'm like, you just heard one song and I have this many songs out. Like, but yeah, it's basically just like more of the appearance part of it and less of the music part of it coming from the male side of my audience.
They say sex sells, so
But that's not like I have a certain image that I want to portray. Like I personally, I know I'm very versatile, but the one style of music I can never touch is the sexy red style of music. Like just because that's not how I go, that's not my style, and that's not how I want to present myself. You feel me? Like I could be one of those artists that's just like twerking in the camera and just singing about sex all the time and just singing about how I do this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, that's gonna give me a specific audience that I don't want. Like I want
and
people to listen to my music and find my music empowering and find it relatable. And I want to be able to help people with what I'm saying, because I too struggle with a lot of mental health and a lot of my music, you can hear it. Like it's a lot of venting and things. And I know that a lot of people will find my music one day and they'll relate to it and it'll help them through something. That's the effect I want rather than being attractive or twerking the camera or singing about sex, like occasionally I can make like a sensual song, but it's never gonna be that sexy red level.
and with you making songs for mental health, what is the advice that you would give for all underground talent that's going through mental health problems?
Put it in your music, definitely. If you're going through something, even at the moment when it feels like it's bigger than you, that's the best moment, and that's when your mind's the most open to expressing your emotions. So if you're going through something, express it in a song. Find a beat that you really resonate with. Like just last week or 2 weeks ago, I made a song called "These Pills Gonna Take Me," and it's basically me venting about things that I've been through in my life, me venting about fake friends and friends turning their backs on you and family turning their backs on you and how you can only really have yourself. And at the end of the song, my message was that I got to spit my pain on this track because I don't want someone else to think they're down too. So if you're going through something, put it in some music.
And in your point of view, what are the ups and downs of being a female MC?
So definitely the ups are my voice advantage because I can make like a lot of different like I can make my voice really deep, I can make my voice really high, I can sing and like usually singing is more of like a female dominated like field. Like there's a lot of males that can sing but usually like females have that higher like they're able to create a more soft like melody, and female voices can hit a deeper emotion. And the downs are definitely, like I said earlier, just being a female. Like, like some people will hear my music, especially my earlier music when I was just finding my voice. My voice was a lot deeper. So a lot of my friends would first say, like, oh, I thought this was a man's song. Like I thought this was a male song. And it'll get people to listen. But then once you uncover that I'm a female, you feel me? Some type of people will be like, oh, I don't jack female artists. I don't listen to females. I don't do this. I don't do that. So like that automatically will just kill it. But I don't really see that as a down because at the end of the day, if you're one of those type of people that's like, I don't want to listen to you because you're a female, you're missing out, because I could be a female and I can be an amazing artist. I can be an amazing vocalist. I can be an amazing lyricist. And you don't want to listen to me just because I'm a female. I don't need that in my audience. The right audience is going to find
Oh,
me. What?
I'm, I'm the boss. Oh,
Right. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Chill.
and so, and as like, as you got in your career, how does has the game been treating you, like the underground scene?
Honestly, they've been very welcoming. They've been very supportive. I've asked for a couple features, especially when I was first starting out. Like if I saw someone on my feed that was like, you know what, you're really tough. Like I can use your voice in my music. I'll DM you and I'll be like, do you want a feature? And I think I've only been turned down probably twice. And I've asked for a lot of features. I have a lot of features. When I was first starting off, I think I did like 10 songs with just 10 different people. And they're very supportive. Their criticism is very constructive. Like they're a very great community. Like every time I send my music to soundcheck, people will compliment it or instead of bringing it down, they'll be like, you should do this with your voice. You should layer your vocals. Like they help me learn. A lot of what I learned wasn't just by making music myself. It was like making music with other people and other people showing me their techniques and showing me what to do and this, that, and the third. Like when I first started, I was starting on BandLab and I would record just like all my bars in one line. Just like I would write it out. I couldn't write, couldn't freestyle. We record all my bars in one line with different presets. And then as I started making music with more BandLab people, they taught me make just punch in. This is like this is how you punch in. This is how you use the presets. This is how you mix music. This is how you master. This is how you do this. And then after a while, I started making music with somebody that was using FL in our band lab, and I can't go back. Like he taught me the mic. Like they taught me the mic difference because when I was using headphones, everybody was like, "Oh, your quality is just not there. Everything else is good, but your quality." I couldn't hear it. But then when I made the switch, I was able to hear it. So they definitely helped me learn a lot, and it definitely taught me a lot of valuable things. And I'm still learning, you know. So I'm just very grateful the community is as open and supportive as they are. Bow bow. Bow bow. John Cena.
But with you being a different artist, how do you take criticism?
I take criticism very constructively. I actually prefer criticism. I would prefer for me to send you my song and you tell me what I should fix in it. You tell me what's wrong with it so that I can make it perfect. You feel me? Because as an artist, you're always going to be a perfectionist. Everything you make, you're not going to exactly be able to hear it from the point of view of someone hearing it for the first time because you just spent the whole process in your head making the melody and freestyling, and it's in your head, you know. So when I send my music, it's more for criticism, for people to tell me change this, because that's how I learned my vocals were too low. People tell me put your vocals up. When I rapped, people helped me find my voice because people were like, it sounds like you're reading. Do this with your voice. You feel me? So I prefer criticism. Actually, I don't take it to heart.
And like, do you take like criticism in a good way
Very
or
good way.
bad way?
Never a bad way. Even when people are being rude about it, or trying to be like a hater, or trying to be like your music's not gonna go anywhere, I take that to the chin. You feel me? Because you're not, if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. And there's definitely a difference between hating and criticism. You feel me? Like if you're just telling me my music is bad and I'm not listening to this and this is just horrible, that's hating, you know. But criticism is teaching me how to make it better and how to make it into a more marketable product, you know. Because at the end of the day, all your music is a product. It's gotta be perfect.
And in your point of view, what is the difference between criticism and hating?
So hating would be like if somebody slid in my DMs from a fake account and was just like, your music is horrible, like just trying to bring me down, trying to make me quit, you know? Because that's what people do when they see that you're bigger than them, when they see you have more potential than them, they're gonna try and knock you down because they don't know how fragile your mind is. You can have such a fragile mind where one person being like, this is not for you could be like, okay, maybe this is not for me, you know? But criticism is, say I send my song to one of my friends and my friend is like, I feel like you could have done better with your bars in this. I feel like your bars can get more complex in this. I feel like your voice can get more like loud. I feel like you can do more with this. I feel like this, that, and the third can be added to this to make it better. That's criticism. Criticism at the end of the day is lifting me up and helping me be better. And hating is trying to knock me off my grind. You know?
And if you a hater, we got two words for you. Suck
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's
Okay.
for any, and like, in your point of view, what do you think about the people having egos in the underground scene?
I think that's gonna be the biggest fall down for a lot of people, you know, because even not just in music and even in life, having a high ego is what's gonna get you hurt, you know. Like you can be like, oh, my music's the best, I'm the best person. I actually had a friend like that. One of the first people that I ended up making music with, that I ended up actually falling out with, he just had such a high ego in all his bars. Johnny's the best, you know. And it's cool to be like, yeah, no one's better than me in your bars, but like when you're saying it outside of your music and being like, nobody can top me, I'm the best rapper, I can do this, that, and the third, you feel me? There's always gonna be a better person than you, like J. Cole said. There's always gonna be a better bitch, there's always gonna be a better rapper, you feel me? And if you really were the best, you would be recognized as the best, you know? And some people are just like, that's not completely true for everybody because some people can be insanely underrated, you know? But it's not just about how good your music is or how good you are as an artist. It's how good you are as like someone people look up to, how good you are as a influencer, you feel me? How good you are with your fans, how good you are with your fan base, how connected you are. Like you, it's one thing to think about your fans as money and another thing to think about your fans as family, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't be there without your fans, you know?
Dun, dun, dun,
So
dun,
having
dun,
a high ego is definitely gonna
dun,
get a lot of underground
dun,
rappers
dun,
knocked off their
dun,
grind.
dun, dun,
You
dun,
said what?
dun, 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 dun. And let's see. As far as top five artists in the underground, do you have a top five?
Top Op Gen, definitely. I think he's coming out of the underground because he's becoming like a little more mainstream, but that's just certain songs, you know. That's what I started off of. That was my biggest inspiration. Um when X was underground, that was definitely one of my biggest inspirations. Molly Santana right now as well. I really like her music a lot. Um Osama Sun too. I like his like kind of what's the word? It's like dysfunctional music kind of like it's more like all over the place but in a way where it makes sense, you know? And I like it. Like he's got a certain style. Like his beats definitely, I love his beats, his type of beats. And probably Until Japan. I like Until Japan's type of beats and their type of music as well.
And as far as, the underground scene goes, would you collaborate with anybody from their scene?
Oh, 100%. I do collaborations all the time. It doesn't even matter like who they are as long as they're a good artist, you know, because my biggest rule as an artist, especially now, when I first started, I was doing features with everybody, you know, and it didn't matter who they were, even if you were my friend, but that ended up costing me because I'd fall out with you and now have a song released with you and it's doing numbers, doing good, and I'm not going to take it down, but you feel me? Now I'm connected to you. So the only condition would be like you just gotta be a good person, you know, like you gotta be a good collaborator. And it's definitely gotta be somebody that I feel like I can learn a lot from. Because that's one thing I always do. I love to learn. No matter how good I think I am at something, there's always something else you can learn from somebody else.
So you're basically saying you're a student.
Always. I'll never be a teacher because there's always going to be somebody that's better than me. I'll be a mentor in some ways, you know, because there's some techniques that I know that people that were in my position don't know, and I can definitely help them out with. But I'm always going to be in the student position because no matter how far I get into my career, I'm always going to be learning something. I'm always going to meet somebody that knows more than me or somebody that's higher up than me that's going to teach me something, whether it's about music, whether it's about the music industry. I'm always going to be a student because I love to learn. I'm always open to learning.
And as so far as the career thing, like other than making underground music and doing YouTube, would you consider streaming?
I would definitely. I try to get into it. I just have to get the right people around. Just because, like one point I made earlier, you can connect yourself to people, and then say you blow up with these people, and then you fall out with these people. You know, now you've got to you're dealing with all that backlash not only on the internet but like behind the scenes. Now I can't associate myself with you. You know, so I just have to make sure it's around the right people. Even if I do it myself, I think I'd be an amazing streamer because people growing up always told me my life should be a movie. So I might get into that in the future. Stay tuned.
And the things about streaming are like you can preview music and whatnot, like
Hmm.
everybody get a behind the scenes look about.
Yeah, I definitely watch a lot of Jace's streams, and Jace will like sit there on stream and just make a whole song construct it and everybody eats it up. So definitely that's something I'm looking at in the future.
But as far as that goes, how does it compare and differ from being a YouTuber,
Streaming.
being an artist?
So being an artist is more of like I'm on my schedule, you know, like I'm my boss. I make what I want, I put out what I want, and I can construct my audience based off of what I want to do. You feel me? And music has always been my biggest passion. Like I've always, even before I made music, I loved listening to music. I would always be listening to music. I would listen to music for hours, you know. And YouTube is just like a whole different ball field for me because that's not only like my voice, that's also my appearance, my personality. Like it's just another part of me that you get to see. And I think they go hand in hand together because you get to like hear my artistic abilities, you can hear what I can do, and then you can see how I am as a person. And I'm a very lovable person. I feel like I have a very bright personality, and I definitely would like to get into that.
And like, what are, in your point of view, what are what is some advice that you would give to all the artists out there?
I would say just keep going, no matter what anybody says, no matter if your family's knocking you down, or if your friends are knocking you down. If those are the people that you're surrounding yourself around, surround yourself around better people, because the right people are gonna lift you up. I feel like everybody has a talent in some way. And music is not just you're born with the talent, you feel me? Music is if you're open to learning and if you're able to pick it up and if you're able to copy the technique, you feel me? So I would say just keep going. Don't let people get in your head at all. Take constructive criticism like with a grain of rice. Definitely not everybody can do as well as criticism as I can, because I even if people are hating on me, I can still find a way to make it constructive. But not a lot of people can do that. A lot of people are more fragile and delicate, and one comment could be like the end of their career. But I would say just don't stop, even when you're unmotivated, when you feel like giving up. That's when you got to push through it, because you never know, anything could blow.
All right, that's all right. Since you make music for mental health, if somebody was going through something, what would you play for them?
um Well, it depends more on what they're going through, because I have different songs for different types of situations. I have a heartbreak song that I wrote about my ex that I'm releasing in an album this month. It's called All the Things You Do. And it's basically me. I was drunk when I made it. So that's like how the emotion's really there. I cried when I made it. So it's just me basically saying, like, I did all this for you, and I never judged you for the things you did, but all the things I did, you judged me. So if you're going through a heartbreak, I would definitely recommend that song. If it's like general, like self-harm, suicidal ideation, anything like that, I would definitely recommend These Pills Gonna Take Me, because it's not really like a surrender song. It's more of a song where I'm accepting everything that's happened to me, and I'm accepting that I can't control things around me, but I got to keep pushing because I don't want anybody else to feel like they're down as well. You got to keep pushing for somebody, even if it's not nobody, it's yourself at the end of the day.
We don't play that suicide shit, man. Leave
Now,
them. We don't play about that suicide shit,
we
man.
don't, we
Leave
don't.
leave
It's
them
never
leave them
worth it.
goddamn
It's
leave them
never worth it.
goddamn razors alone, man. Leave
It's
them
never
goddamn
worth it. Coming from
it,
somebody that
leave,
struggled with it for years and years and years, like since I was in middle school and I'm turning 20. So I've definitely had my share. I wasn't dealt the fair set of cards. I had a pretty wild upbringing. And I've definitely had my share of attempts. I've definitely been in my moments where I felt like I was never gonna get out of it. I've definitely been in my moments where I felt like it was bigger than me and that this would never pass, but it always passes. That's one thing I will always tell everybody that's struggling with mental health. I've been in situations, heartbreaks where I felt like I would never love again. And then I fall in deeper love with the next person. You feel me? You just gotta be patient and let things play out, because everything happens for a reason. Things aren't happening to you because you're a bad person or because you deserve it. Things are happening to you to build your character, because there are bad people out here. There are horrible people in the world that can do some horrible things to you. And God is building your tough shell. He's building your coat. You feel me? So when you step out there, you're covered, you're protected. So one thing I'm always say, keep it going, keep it pushing, even if you feel like you can't. And it's definitely better said than done. But just think about yourself at the end of the day. Think about where you're gonna be in the next 10 years if you just keep it pushing.
where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, I definitely see myself with a family. I definitely see myself very financially stable. I'm going these next 5 years. I'm definitely going to make whatever rock to get to where I want to be. I want to be in a nice place mentally. I want to be in a nice place romantically, definitely financially, because that's one thing I never really had growing up. So that financial stability is definitely a really big goal for me, whether that's getting into a really good job, going into school, like whatever path takes me, wherever I know I'm going to be successful. So that's definitely my ultimate goal, is success within and financially.
You want you some little kids. You want kids.
Okay, who don't? Like, Who
people
don't?
that don't take responsibility seriously.
And that's one thing. The money makes this world go around. You know, every like people say money doesn't buy happiness, but I don't see a lot of homeless people out on the curb just showing all 32. You know, so definitely. And I've been homeless before. I've been in my fair share of situations. So that's why financial stability is definitely a big thing for me. I don't want to have to worry about where I'm gonna lay my head at the next day. I don't want to have to worry about if my kids are gonna eat, if my family's gonna eat. You know, I want to make sure that I've got me and that I've got the people I love. That's definitely a big goal. Everybody that stayed down with me, I want them up. Oh, he's frozen. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Never let
Definitely.
nobody tell y'all money don't buy happiness. Because if you do,
Definitely.
I'm a spiral. Because
If money not bringing you happiness, you just don't got enough money yet. You gotta keep going.
but but as an underground talent, what are the do's and don'ts?
Definitely do network. That's the biggest thing because as an underground artist, especially me, like I'm extremely underground. Like the only people that really listen to my music are people that stumble across my music or my friends. Like my friends have all my songs in their playlist. Like I'll be hanging out with my homegirl. She'll play like 30 of my songs in the same sit. And I'm like, girl, like what? But definitely network. That's the biggest thing. That means if you see somebody you want to feature with, don't be scared to ask them for a feature because 9 times out of 10, they're gonna give you that feature that if I wouldn't have reached out to half the people I would have at my skill set. I had first started in November. I started making music in November. I was asking for features by December and January. And I got most of my features when I was still starting out rather than now. Now I'm basically collaborating with one person, learning from one person. But networking is going to be your biggest friend in learning and getting discovered and getting plays, everything. Make sure you join those group chats with the underground artists, join those Discord servers, post your music. That's a big thing. Post your music, drop on SoundCloud, drop on Spotify, drop on Apple Music, even if you think your music's not good, because at the end of the day, it's your music. You feel me? You're going to hear your progress. Everybody's going to hear your progress. So even if you think you're not good right now, just think about how good you're going to be in the next 6 months, 7 months, you know? But definitely don't I don't really know a lot of don'ts because I just kind of did,
I
but
do.
I did, you know, and it worked out for me. The same things might not work out for everybody. One thing I'm gonna say: don't do a feature with everybody. Do not do a feature with everybody. Pick and choose your features. Listen to your features before you do them. Don't just agree to do it just because I want a feature, you know, because you don't want your name tied to a music like a song you don't like. You feel me? Because I did a couple features where I wish I never did those features, you know, but I had already agreed to them, and I was like, you know what, this person expecting a feature for me. The other person didn't do it. I might as well. Don't feel that obligation. Don't do features with everybody. Do features with people that fit in your skill set or people above your skill set. Do features with people you're gonna grow and learn from. Don't tie yourself to a song you're not gonna like in the next 2 months. Definitely. That's my biggest don't. From experience, coming from experience.
Well, another don't is don't have a fat ass ego. You
Okay.
all,
Okay. Definitely put
all
your
you
pride to the
underground, all
side.
the underground artists out there got an ego problem, and it's getting tiresome. Since you
Yes,
want to act
definitely.
like Superman, I got kryptonite and red sun radiation for you.
Okay. And at the end of the day, having that high ego is definitely just what's gonna okay, look at Aspen Cartier. Aspen Cartier just got canceled, you feel me, for the whole dog situation. But she was one of those rappers that definitely had a really high ego. She wanted to fight everybody. She
She
wanted to, she's I'm better than you. You're not fucking with me. This, that, and the third. I'm a better rapper than you. You can't top me. You can't do this. You can't do that. And everybody knocked her off her grind. And where do you see her now? She's crying on live because she's losing all these followers and that she's losing all the support, getting all this hate. Having a high ego puts a target on your back because when people feel exactly when people feel targeted, they're like, "Oh, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?" They're gonna try and show you that you're not. and it's going to, especially if you have a fragile mental state, it's going to come back and bite you, because that's what's going to start a hate train on you. People not going to like you. You have to be a likable person to be a likable artist.
Meanwhile, you got Aspen Cartier beating on dogs and shit
Okay, okay,
like a fucking freak. Nobody know, you don't need to
okay.
beat on no damn dog, man. What the dog do to you?
Okay. And then
Need some,
also look at her, like she was hanging around all these people, had all these people in her corner, had this whole support system. And then when she had that hate train, all that went away because these people don't want to get hated on too. You got to be a good person to be a good artist, because that's how you lose a lot of good opportunities, being a bad person.
we don't play about animal cruelty around here, folks. You better not be beating
Mm-mm.
on dogs.
I'll
And
beat y'all. Don't beat no dogs.
y'all better not be beating on y'all animal companions. Some
Don't
of
beat
them are
y'all
furry,
animals. Give
lovable
them to me.
creatures.
Give them to
Y'all
me. I
better,
love them.
y'all better not be Mike Vick and y'all dogs, man.
Okay. Like that's crazy.
Mike Vick. But as far as everything goes, like, what do you expect out of yourself?
I definitely expect a lot of growth out of myself. Music teaches me a lot about myself because it's a way of communication that I didn't know I had. One thing a lot of people tell me is I project in my music. So I make the best love songs when I'm in love with a guy. You feel me? Like when I just can't get enough of somebody, that's when
Ah,
my best love songs come
check
out.
the phone.
Or my best pain songs are when I'm in the lowest point of my life and I'm just going through things, and I can sit there and really communicate it without having to communicate it. It doesn't feel like you're talking about it. It doesn't feel like it is therapy, but it doesn't feel like the conventional therapy. It's a form of therapy that I like because it's a form of therapy that I can control. I can control what I say. I can control how I feel. I can control what emotion I want to put out into the music. You feel me? And it definitely taught me a lot about who I am as a person, and a lot of my struggles and a lot of my flaws, a lot of my character traits that I need to work on. Like I'm an overgiver. And a lot of my pain songs, you'll hear how I give a lot to people and people don't give to me, they take. And one of my bars, it's on SoundCloud. It's not dropped. I don't know if I'm gonna drop it. It's called "Real Niggas Shed Tears," and one of my bars is when you're up, when they're up, you're alone. When they're up, they're alone, and my nigga, you just stuck. So it's basically like when you're helping people, you can help somebody the most ways. You could put somebody on this high ass pedestal and put them in far in life, and the second you do that, they're up there by themselves, you feel me? And you're stuck here because you gave all this to put them here, and now you're just stuck here and they're up here alone, you know? So definitely I learned a lot about myself making pain music and making heartbreak music. I learned a lot about how my mind works, and it's definitely teaching me to move better.
And your goals for this year.
Definitely drop at least 3 albums because I've been lacking on dropping, but I definitely want to build my base. I want to build my fan base. I want to build my audience. I want to get more known. I want to push myself more out there. I feel like this year is the year I'm going to put in the most work for my music, because that's me trying to get up there. You feel me? Like I've got to connect with all these people, and I've got to do like that's also why I'm like doing like interviews and stuff, just to get out there and just to network myself. That's my biggest goal, is networking this year.
And you gotta be out there in the Instagram field, even though it's weird as
Mhm.
hell sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, but
Mhm.
Instagram can help out with a lot of social, like, networking and whatnot. Like
Mhm.
if you're an artist, if you're a producer, if you're a fuck ass manager, not all of them fuck asses, but it's certain ones
Some
out.
of them definitely.
And if you're like a content creator, influencer and whatnot, you gotta learn the tools of the trade. You gotta get Instagram, you gotta get TikTok, you gotta get
Mhm.
Twitch, you gotta get Kik, you gotta get motherfucking Facebook, you gotta get more fucking
Yep.
all the social media apps basically.
Cause definitely networking, especially on social media, that's what everybody's doing nowadays. Everybody's streaming. Everybody's got these clips going viral. It's more personality nowadays. You feel me? So like even Top Op Gen, everybody like you hear his music, but more so you'll see his Twitch clips and you'll see his live clips, like people clipping him, funny moments and stuff. So definitely getting I've been it's weird because I used to never post on Instagram at all. Like I used to never post on my story, I used to never post on my reels, and now I'm here posting a reel like once a week. So it's definitely a big change, but that's social media is definitely a big part of it for sure.
And it's so far. Um, God damn it, God damn it, fuck shit. Oh, as like as being art, like, would you rather be independent or be managed?
Um I'm torn because independence, like that definitely gives me more freedom. I'm not having to construct to a label or construct to a manager, but I feel like sometimes that construction is what's needed. I definitely need guidance because I definitely don't have the knowledge of the music industry that a manager would, or I don't have the knowledge of the music industry that somebody that's been in the industry for like 5, 10 years would have. So I'm definitely still torn between that. I want to stay independent, but I might look into a manager. It just depends. It really depends. Like I have to feel you as a manager for me to trust you. It's a trust thing, definitely.
And the record deals, like, would you sign to a record deal?
Definitely, but I would definitely read through it because I've heard a lot of people getting screwed over in contracts, and I've heard a lot of people um just getting screwed by labels and the labels holding them up and this, that, and the third. So I would definitely do a lot of research on the label before I sign. I would definitely do a lot of reading into it. For sure, because that's what that I've never signed a document in my life without reading the whole thing. Definitely, because like you can sign a document, they can be like, "Okay, we on your ears now." So like, I'm like, "Oh, what damn," you know. So definitely got to do a lot of research into that before I do that. But that's definitely somewhere in my future. I definitely do want a record deal.
Let's and what do you and so far as the mainstream versus the underground scene, how do you feel about those two competing?
So I feel like the mainstream scene definitely has it a lot easier because there's still people there that have been there from the 2000s. There's still people there that have been there from the 2010s, like early 2020, you know? So like I feel like, and a lot of people get help getting into mainstream too. Like there's industry plants are definitely very real, extremely real. Like just because your uncle owns a record company, you feel me? You got an instant record deal. But I feel like the
Holy crap.
underground the underground definitely takes a lot more talent because you're starting literally from nothing. You're starting from the ground up and you're building yourself rather than having somebody else build your image for you. So I definitely don't think there should be a competition in music, but I do think the underground definitely has to put in a lot more work in their music to get noticed just because that's the whole point of the underground to stay unnoticed, is to have certain people like you're being gatekept basically. That's the whole point of it. People are I like this artist. I don't want this artist to go mainstream because I don't want everybody listening to them and I don't want their music to get annoying. I don't want their music to get overplayed. So I'm gonna keep them underground and I'm gonna keep them unknown. I'm not gonna tell people about them, you feel me? But definitely I do like being underground because I'm work everything that I'm putting in is what I put in. You feel me? I get what I put in. All the work that I put in, that's what I'm receiving. Those are the fruits of my labor. So if I'm lacking, that's what I'm gonna get out of it. And I can't blame nobody but myself. But if I'm putting in all this work and I'm getting results back from it, it definitely makes me feel better. So I don't think they should be competing. I think there's definitely a lot of artists in both categories that I listen to, especially mainstream. I do listen to a lot of mainstream artists, but it does get annoying when your favorite underground artist goes mainstream and everybody knows one song and everybody's selling out their concerts to sing one song. You know, it's definitely annoying, but I think underground artists definitely have it a lot harder.
And why do the underground artists have it a lot harder?
Just because we're sitting here, most underground artists are recording like off their phone on BandLab, on GarageBand. You feel me? They're producing, mixing, and recording their own things. So versus a mainstream artist that's got access to tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and you've got all these pristine producers making your music perfect. You feel me? As an underground artist, you have to learn all that yourself, and you have to sit here and put that work in yourself, and you have to mix your music to how your voice sounds, and you have to sit here and tweak all these things to make like it's definitely a lot more work because you're taking on a lot more different roles in one person rather than the mainstream artists having it just accessible to them. You feel me? And definitely that's my goal one day, to be able to like have a whole team of people, and I just have to spit into a mic and all these people sitting here chopping my stuff up for me. That's definitely a goal. But underground artists have it way harder because you have to be all these people in one person. You have to be a producer, you have to be your own manager, you have to be your own promoter, you have to be your own, like, you have to do your own vocals, you have to layer your own stuff, you have to learn the techniques, and you have to use what's right for you. Some things not gonna work for you, some things will work for you. You feel me? And it's definitely a lot more stressful being underground, for sure.
And the stressfulness of being an underground artist. How do you deal with it?
I mean, it doesn't really affect me in a big way, because at the end of the day, I'm just having fun with my music, and music is just my passion. Even if nobody listens to me, I'm gonna still make music because that's what I love to do. That's how I cope. But definitely, I just keep it more to this is fun and less of this is business. I don't feel the stress to sit here and have to be consistent with my posts, be consistent with drops. I have to drop this on this day, this on that day. I don't feel that because I don't have a big fan base yet. Like I don't get that stress right now just because I don't have people that's like, I have a couple people, but I don't have a whole group of people that's like, when is she gonna drop? When is she gonna drop? When is she gonna drop? I think that stress comes definitely more with the success of being an underground artist. Like when you're higher up there, you have more people watching you and you have more people speculating you, picking apart everything you do. You feel me? But I'm just having fun with it at the moment. And that's what I like to keep my mind to. Every time I sit here and get stressed that I'm not big, or I get stressed that my plays aren't going the way I want them to, I just think I'm having fun. It's gonna come when it comes. You got to be patient. Definitely a big thing, patience.
And as far as you having fun with the music, I mean, it should be that way, but what is your advice for the people that take it seriously? Other than the fact that they need to take a fucking chill pill and get off that
Right.
leave
It's
shit alone.
one thing I'm gonna say. It's never that serious because you could sit here, you can make a hit song that everybody's fucking with, and it can get like 600 plays, and then you can go ahead and play on a beat and make a song to like the YouTube survey, which I did. It didn't get overplayed because I haven't like posted it yet, but like you can make a dumbass song like "Recipes My Granny, She Got Hit by a Bazooka," and that song could have like 300 million views. So like at the end of the day, you can't even pick and choose what's gonna get you discovered. You can sit here and just play in the studio, and that's gonna get you your plays. Like you just, it's okay to be serious about it because you definitely need to take it serious to an extent if you're looking to be big and if you're looking for a certain result out of it. But don't take everything to heart, because the algorithm is so unpredictable and you never know what song you're gonna make in the next 5 months. Like if I had the brain I did when in November right now, I would not have made any of the songs on the album that I'm dropping that everybody's messing with. You feel me? I posted snippets, everybody loves the snippets, everybody's telling me to drop. I would have never made this type of music in November. You feel me? Just because of my knowledge and because you got to go through certain things to be able to spit certain things. You got to just be patient with it. That's a big thing. I'm gonna always say that patience is a big thing. Be patient with yourself, be patient with your fans, and be patient with the algorithm because good things don't come easy. It's gonna come hard.
And everything that's worth working for it isn't easy.
Exactly. Because if it was easy, it wouldn't be good.
No, it'd be slow as hell.
Okay.
It'd be slow as hell. But as far as that goes, do you have any questions or concerns?
Do I? I don't think I do. I think we had a good conversation though. I think I asked my questions like more as I was answering questions. Definitely.
Fair enough. Well, that's fair enough. But everybody appreciate me. Everybody appreciates you for coming in to the
And I
off.
appreciate you for having me. Thank you so much.
You welcome. And the Ophios.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.
You welcome. Well, ain't she a pretty little thing? But that was Alyse, everybody. And I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Another one will drop. Another one will drop. Just give me time and patience. I'm signing out, everybody. I hope y'all have a fantastic day.